on a nice 6-2 run, and it's Dinger Tuesday. Let's talk some baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and that's right, coming off a nice 2-1 winning day on that ugly 7-game slate we had, but nice 6-2 run. Let's see if we can carry that over into this full 15-game slate. But Dinger Tuesday is finally back. So here's the rules in case you forgot from last year. First of all, you have to have liked the video and be subscribed to the channel to win. But here's how you win. You leave a comment below with your best home run pick, but that's not all. First of all, you can only do one player, just so you guys know. I do not accept multiple. But you must include the odds that you got it and the sports book that you used, or you can't win, because the winner is going to be the home run pick with the highest odds. So if it's the same player and someone got the odds at better at a different book, we're just going to count that as a tie. We're not going to give them that. But anyways, leave that comment below, and the winner will get either $25 or one free month of Outlier, their choice. So let's have some fun getting back into some Dinger Tuesday action. But speaking of Outlier, you guys know any graphics you see in this video are from that app. It is the best betting research tool on the market today. I use it every stinking day. Click that link below. You get a 7-day free trial. So let's get into it. And I got an MLB fun fact. Some of you guys might have seen this. It was on X, but this is crazy. Going into Monday, so not counting the Rockies' last win, going into Monday since May 4th, the Rockies have the same amount of wins as Scotty Scheffler. That's a golfer. And winning a golf tournament is very hard. They both had 3 wins. That is absolutely bonkers to me. But anyways, in this video, we're going to recap yesterday, another winning day, and then we're going to go over the good and bad hitter matchups, then the pitcher strikeout matchups, and then, of course, the full pitcher report, and then we'll end it with the best bets and the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. Appreciate every single one of you that takes time out of your day to leave a comment, even if it's just a picture of a baseball or something. So I appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Come join this awesome community. But let's get this baseball journey started. And that means it's recap time. All right, there it is, the 2-1 day, and we start out with the easiest alternate team total parlay we have won all year. LA team total over 2.5, Minnesota team total over 3.5. LA got the job done in the first inning on Mike Trout. I watched him hit an absolute moonshot to left center field over the Green Monster, and they scored like 5 or 6 runs in the first. It was beautiful. And then the Twins team total over 3.5. I'm sorry, they did take a little longer. They got it done in the second inning, thanks to some bad defense by the A's as well. But they scored like 6 in that inning. So a nice, easy cash there. The Reds' first 5 innings money line. Again, even when we lose, I feel like we're right there. We're not getting our butts kicked or anything. The Reds took a 2-0 lead, and we're down 3-2 after 5 innings. The Reds continue to let me down. But you know what? They had a chance. They just did not get the job done. They had a few. I think they had 6 hits in 5 innings, so it's not like they couldn't hit Savali. Just couldn't get another big hit after that first inning. But Jackson Merrill, Ellie De La Cruz, they gave me a little bit of confidence back in the hitter parlay finally. But Merrill got the job done as like a third at bat. Ellie De La Cruz got a RBI single in the very first inning. That was absolutely beautiful. I will take that every time. So 2-1 day on Monday. There's the overall record. We are down 1.8 units, right around even. There's the breakdown, like I like to show you guys every single day. Game bets, pitcher props, hitter props, so on and so on. So that's what we got for the recap. Now let's talk some hitters. All right, we got 12 good hitter matchups for you today. How about Carlos Santana, not the musician, the baseball player? 15 for 42 with 2 home runs off Carlos Rodon. TJ Friedl has been swinging the bat really well. 6 for 16 off fastball. Freddie Peralta with 3 extra base hits. And then you see Austin Riley there. Freddie Freeman, who seems to always be there, 6 for 14. All the way down the list to Ref Snyder. Gunnar Henderson, 4 for 10 off of Kirby. And then Seiya Suzuki, a lot of 3 for 9s, but 3 big hitters. Suzuki, Ketel Marte, Ronald Acuna, all the way down to Fraley and Gonzalez. So, not a huge slate of great hitter-pitcher matchups for a 15-game slate, but I think there's still some winners in there and some guys that are swinging the bat well as on top of that. So that's what we got for the good hitter matchups. Now let's take a look at the bad hitter matchups. We only have 5. Starling Marte, 4 for 23 with 9 Ks off Kershaw. Again, Kershaw is not exactly the same pitcher as the Hall of Fame career, but still. Matt Olson, 3 for 16 off of Gallon of Milk. Adley Rutschman, 2 for 13 off Kirby. And you see Arenado and O'Hearn not swinging the bat well against their pitcher, Michael Lorenzen and George Kirby. So that's what we got for the good and bad hitter matchups. Now let's talk some strikeouts. All right, we have four good pitcher strikeout matchups. If you're new to the channel, what I like to do is take the highest strikeout pitchers that are facing the highest strikeout teams. Doesn't mean you bet them automatically. It's just a lot of info for you to as you go into your strikeout bets. And again, maybe the line's set great, maybe it's a little low, but here we go. The lefty Carlos Rodon's the first one versus the Guardians, who are the sixth highest K rate versus the lefties in the last 3 weeks, 26.5%. Rodon, obviously a K's machine, 90 and 72.2 innings. Last four starts, 10, 5, 8, and 10 versus the A's, Mets, Rangers, and Angels. He does have a lower K rate at home, though. You know, take that for what it is, but still 28.1% compared to 35, about 35% on the road. Slightly higher K rate to righties, 32%, 30.5 to lefties. Not a big difference there. And then Rodon already faced the Guardians on April 23rd. In 7 innings, he had 8 strikeouts. So the next one, Hunter Green, Milwaukee is facing the Brewers, but Milwaukee 10th highest K rate versus righties last 3 weeks, 22.4%. Green 66 Ks, 54.2 innings. He was injured, obviously, so he is coming back from an injury. Made 2 starts from that one, 83 and 88 pitches, so slowly getting stretched back out. He only had 2 and 3 Ks though, so something to keep in mind. Maybe that's a red flag for you guys. Against the Cubs and Royals, 2 teams that don't strike out a lot, so they were tough matchups. But just wanted to point that out. Much higher K rate at home, 35.5% compared to 26.2 on the road. I mean, that's a big difference. Higher K rate versus lefties, which is a little surprising, but 33% compared to 28.3 righties. And he faced Milwaukee twice last year. He had 14 Ks in 11 innings. So take a screenshot. So we got for page 1. Now we got a couple more. All right, I lied. There's actually only one more strikeout matchup, not 2, but we end with Pablo Escobar at the Athletics. A's 8th highest K rate versus righties in the last 3 weeks. 23.2%. Lopez, not a huge strikeout guy right now, but still a little over 1 an inning, 57 and 55.2. Only 8 Ks combined in his last 2 starts, though, so keep that in mind. But before that, he was very consistent, 6+ Ks in 6 straight starts. And then we get the other red flag a little bit here is Pablo Lopez is on the road, 21.5% K rate. That's very average compared to at home, 30.8%. Again, only in like the second month of the season, so we're still trying to gather some numbers. But higher K rate versus righties, almost 29% compared to lefties at 22.1%. So that's what we got for the 3 pitcher strikeout matchups. Now let's take a look at the pitcher report. All right, here we go. We got the first 8 matchups here, and if you're new to the channel, we like to give this out every single day. We got ERA, expected ERA, Ks, walks, anything you need to help you with every single matchup. And then we added the home runs per 9 innings as well. All the averages are on the bottom to kind of help give you an idea. But we start out with Lance McCullers versus Paul Skeens. Interesting matchup here. McCullers' stuff is back. He almost made the good pitcher strikeout matchups, but he hasn't made enough starts really. But how about 8 and 12 Ks in his last 2 starts? Pretty impressive. Skeens is just an absolute machine. 2 or less earned runs in 10 of 12 starts, 4 or less hits allowed in 4 of the last 5 starts as well. We know what he can do. He has been a little worse at home, I will say that, but worse for him is, different than most pitchers. And then we got Gordon versus Sandy Alcantara. Sandy has just been a cash cow for us in under outs, but he's one of the worst starting pitchers in the majors, and he is facing one of the worst offenses in the majors. So something has to give in a suck versus suck matchup. Now, Horton versus Trevor Williams. Not a great pitching matchup either. That's for sure here. Trevor Williams, 5.69 ERA. 2 guys that just do not miss a lot of bats, give up a lot of hits, as you can see. And then Tanner Bybee versus Carlos Rodon. Rodon, 1 or less earned run allowed now in 4 of his last 5, pitching really well. Tanner Bybee, 4 earned runs allowed in 2 of his last 3 starts. One of those was against the Dodgers, but it just has not been great for him, at least from his expectations. Christopher Sanchez versus Brown Francis. Sanchez, 2 to 3 earned runs allowed in 4 straight. Just been really consistent there. And Francis is the guy, as you can see, 2.44 home runs per 9. He has given up a lot of bombs, that's for sure. He finally pitched well in his last start, but he only did go 5 innings. His pitch count in the last 2, it's almost like they're pulling him back a little bit. Don't want him to see the lineup for a 3rd time. It's been in the mid-70s the last 2 starts, so just something to keep in mind. Kikuchi had a 1.89 ERA in May. How about that? Going up against Brian Bayo, who is a guy who's due for some negative regression, almost a 6 expected ERA. Not a guy who misses many bats, gives up a lot of hits. And then Freddie Peralta versus Hunter Green. Pretty good matchup here. Peralta gone 5.1 innings or less in 9 of 12 starts. This guy is one of the more inefficient pitchers in the league. And then Hunter Green, we talked about it a little bit in the Ks. 2 good starts since his return from injury. Only 3 hits, 4 earned runs allowed, though, in the 9 innings. So we ended this page with Zach Gallen-Melk versus Strider. Gallen has been awful, and I mean bad. 4+ earned runs allowed in 4 straight starts. And oh, by the way, 2 of those starts were against Pittsburgh and Colorado, and it wasn't in Coors Field. And then Spencer Strider, we're going to talk about a little bit more later. He looked like himself a little bit last start. But still, yeah, I won't even mention anything. We'll just talk about him a little bit later. So that's what we got. And there's the averages on the bottom. Now let's check out page 2. And we start out with Tyler Mahle of the Rangers. Again, we've talked about him at unbelievable 1.64 ERA. Nobody saw that coming. He did have a rare bad start, but he bounced back last time out with 6 innings of shutout baseball versus Toronto. And then Rasmussen in great form again. How about 18 consecutive scoreless innings in his last 3 starts? ERA now down to 2.33. And then no pitcher as of recording this for Detroit, going up against Shane Smith of the White Sox. Just one of those White Sox pitchers that's, been decent. I mean, 2.68 ERA is more than decent. But not a guy who misses a ton of bats, but he's got an average K rate, doesn't allow a lot of home runs. So it's been pretty good for him. Michael Lorenzen versus Palante. Lorenzen got absolutely crushed last start, giving up 11 hits and 6 earned runs versus Cincy. Going up against Palante, he's given up a few runs pretty much every time. I mean, that's just what he does when he rolls out of bed. He's given up 2 to 4 earned runs now in 8 straight starts. And then Sugar versus Kirby Puckett. Sugar is a low-K guy. You guys know that. He's had some good starts, though, but you see that expected ERA, xFIP high as well. He's just a pitch-to-contact guy, hoping to not get hard contact. He does have great command, 3.9% walk rate, but an extremely low K rate. Going up against George Kirby, it has been downright awful for him in his first 2 starts. Again, he's coming back from an injury, so he's only made 2 starts. He's given up 11 earned runs, 13 hits, and 3 bombs in 8.2 innings. That's not good. I expect him to be much better, but we'll see how long it takes him to knock the rust off. And then Berger for the Padres, making his first major league start, but he's pitched 4 innings out of the bullpen. I mean, I would assume he just goes like 1 or 2 innings here. Going up against Landon Raup, the rookie, who had a rough start kind of, but only given up 1 earned run in his last 3 starts over 16 innings. Given up exactly 5 hits now in 5 straight starts. And then we got a battle of the Lopez's. Rumor has it also that George Lopez will be in attendance also. But Pablo Lopez against Jacob Lopez. We know what Pablo's done. Great ERA, limits the runs. Decent K rate there at 25.2%. Only 7.6 hits per 9. And then Lopez, the other Lopez, only 15.2 innings pitched. Giving up some bombs. A little high on the walk rate. Loses command. But obviously advantage Minnesota in that one. And then we end it with McGill versus Clayton Kershaw. McGill had a 5.96 ERA in May. After an elite start, he really struggled in May, that's for sure. But still, how about a 30.4% K rate? He is somehow missing a ton of bats. Facing the Dodgers and Kershaw, good start last time out. It's been a little rough start for him here after another injury. Obviously, at his age, it's not easy. 1 earned run in 5 innings versus Cleveland, though, in his last time out. So that's what I got for all 15 matchups and all the research help. And now it is time for the best bets. All right, this first one takes us out to the ATL, where the Braves host the Arizona Diamondbacks in the Battle of the Red A's. That's right, the Braves money line -148, D-backs money line +124 with a total of 9 runs. It's been too long. How about a 1-unit play? Give me Spencer Strider under 17.5 outs recorded, -125 on DK. Like I said, this is a 1-unit play for me here. I think the books are a little quick to start thinking he's fully back in there. He's going to get his usual 17.5 outs line. Here's what he's done this season. He's only made 3 starts so far. It was a major arm injury. So obviously on his 4th start, he's not going to just be stretched out to 105 pitches. But he went 15, 13, and 14 outs. He only went 5 innings 1 time, never pitched in the 6th inning, and he faced Toronto, Washington, and Philadelphia. His pitch count for those 3 games, 97 right off the bat. I think they thought that was a little too high. He went 75 pitches in the 2nd start. 3rd one, he went 90 pitches. Again, like I said, they are not going to want to overdo it here. I'm going to guess 90 is his limit as well. But here's the deal. He hasn't been super efficient, obviously. As you can tell, he went 97 pitches just to get through 5 innings in that first start. 90 in the last one, and he didn't even get through 5 innings. 42% of his pitches has been for a ball. Good research right there, I know. Swinging strike rate is only 12.2%. It was 20 and 17% the last 2 seasons he pitched. So he is not fully back. And you don't expect it after a huge arm injury to all of a sudden be pitching just like you were before. He had 1 good start with a couple bad starts, and now he faces the D-backs. Probably maybe the toughest matchup he's had all season. Last 3 weeks versus righties, 7th highest WRC+, 15th in on-base percentage. They also have the lowest first pitch swing rate in the MLB, which means they're not getting many first pitch outs, which you love to see when you're doing under outs. Mostly it's just the top tier or elite starting pitchers that have been going over this line versus Arizona, like Paul Skeens, Sonny Gray, Yamamoto. We did see Dustin May and Mikolas go over this line as well, but this Diamondbacks we know has the potential to just score in bunches as well. The final reason I love this, the Braves bullpen is fully rested. They did not play on Monday. They're gonna I don't guarantee anything actually. I would assume that the coach When they get to that fifth, sixth innings, and they have a choice to stretch him to the 85, 90, 95 pitches and see us line up for the third time, I bet you they go to that bullpen and use some of those arms because, again, they just had a day off. They need to use some of those arms as well. And like I said, they don't want to overdo it with Strider. So with him not 100% stretched out yet, his inefficiency that we've seen so far, not just mowing down hitters like we are used to seeing, I think going 6 full innings against Arizona, I think it's asking a lot for Strider. So hopefully the D-backs do not let me down. But give me Strider under 17.5 outs as my first best bet. All right, the second one takes us out to Pittsburgh, where the Pirates host the Houston Astros. Pirates on the money line minus 142, Astros on the money line plus 120, with a total of 7.5 runs. I'm doing a first 5 innings bet. Give me the under 4 runs in the first 5 innings. I got this at minus 120 on Bet365. This is a half unit play. If you can only get 3.5, I don't mind it there, but I probably lean under the 7.5 at the full game, and just a little bit more. But I like the under 4 here, just for the push factor as well. But starting pitcher matchup, Lance McCullers versus the man, Paul Skeens. So let's talk McCullers first. He's made a few starts. The first start after that one start in Cincy where he got crushed in the first inning, I thought this guy is not ready to pitch. Well, guess what? That's changed lately. Last 2 starts versus the A's and the Mariners, 8 and 12 Ks, like we talked about. Yes, 20 Ks in 10.1 innings. That's about 2 per inning. Hash brown math. 5 hits allowed in both starts, 5 total earned runs. He's been pretty good. His off speed is back to looking at least like the last couple starts like it was before. If you don't know much about McCullers, he was a guy who threw an absolute crap ton of curveballs before his injury. I mean, it's probably why he got injured. But he's had 18 total whiffs in his last start, 10 on his curveball alone. And then versus Seattle, he had 14 total whiffs, 11 combined on his curveball and slider. Now facing that undisciplined Pirates offense, I like him to pitch well here yet again. And then Paul Skeens. We all know he's an absolute machine. Like I said earlier, 2 or less earned runs in every start except for 2 of them. 4 or less hits in 4 of his last 5 games, which is insane. I mean, 4 or less hits. He's just not allowing hits at all. And then K's have picked up a little bit too for him. 9, 8, and 7 in the last 3, and 2 of those were against Philly and the Diamondbacks. Not exactly high strikeout teams. So I expect another solid performance. He's a guy who, I mean, he can pretty much lock him into 0, 1, or 2 earned runs given up. And then the offenses, the Astros, we've talked about it before. They are completely different offense on the road. Now, will that change this year? Maybe it will, but right now it just has not. I mentioned this multiple times. Last 30 days versus righties on the road, 24th WRC plus, 8th lowest batting average, 6th lowest walk rate. This is a team that just does not get on base much. And when they go at home, they're a top 3 offense. It's crazy with the splits here. But the offense have scored 4 or fewer runs in 17 of 23 road games versus righties, just to show you how bad they've been. And then we go to the Pirates. This team has scored 4 or fewer runs in 80% of their games this season. That's crazy. Last 3 weeks versus righties, 24th WRC plus, 4th lowest slugging, 2nd lowest ISO power. This team literally has no power versus righties. We've seen it time and time again. So I really think these two pitchers who are in both good form, facing 2 weaker offenses with the Astros on the road. If they were at home, I wouldn't have said that, but 4 runs is still a push here after 5 innings. I love this one. Give me the under 4 first 5 innings as my second best bet. This third one takes us out to Fenway Park, where the Red Sox host the LA Angels. Red Sox on the money line minus 142, Angels money line plus 120 with a total of 9 runs. How about another pitcher prop? That's right. Give me Yusei Kikuchi over 16.5 outs at minus 105 on DraftKings for a half unit. I think he goes 6 innings here, to be honest. So I just need 2 outs in the 6th here. Kikuchi this season, he's over this line in 8 of 12 starts. And on the road, he's been great. Over in 6 of 7. The only one he missed, he just got absolutely rocked in like the 2nd inning or something. Just made it like 2 innings. So he's been over in 6 of 7. Like I said, solid in May, 1.89 ERA, 248 average against. He hasn't been like elite. If you look at XFIP numbers and things like that, it hasn't been like where he's just flat out dominating, but he's an innings eater. He's done well at limiting runs. It comes down to his command. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, this could get ugly to watch. He has 13 walks in his last 3 starts. So I am prepared mentally to watch him go walk, walk, walk. I still may get mad about it, but I am taking the chance myself. It's been pretty bad. He has actually 4+ walks in 6 starts this year. That's wild. Now, again, he's a guy who doesn't give up a ton of hits, and he still finds ways to go 6+ innings with all these walks. If he can somehow walk 2 or less, I think he cruises over this line. He's gone over this line with those games of 4 walks, 5 walks, things like that. Because other than that, he, like I said, he limits hits, limits runs, and gets out of the inning. Facing the Red Sox, who, again, don't have Alex Bregman right now. It's a big deal. He's a guy who works counts. I've had pitcher props against the Red Sox. I've seen Alex Bregman go foul ball, pitch 7, pitch 8, pitch 9. He's one of their best lefty hitters, and he is not in the lineup. They've been average versus lefties in the last 3 weeks with the 16th WRC plus in the league. 3 of the last 5 lefties have gone over this line against Boston. Trevor Rogers, Chris Sale, and Skubal. Obviously, 2 of those guys are really solid. Even Cade Povich went 5 innings there in Boston. Angels bullpen, it's taxed, and this is another reason why I like it. Tyler Anderson didn't make it 5 innings. I think he made it 4.1 innings. So they used a lot of bullpen. They're going to need Kikuchi to go deep here, and he's a guy who already has a long leash. He throws a ton of pitches. He can hit 100 pitches, and they're going to need innings out of him. So even with good hitting conditions, I like Kikuchi to pitch decent here. So give me, you say, over 16.5 outs. That is my third and final best bet, but I'm telling you, I do like this slate. So there are going to be added plays in the morning, maybe even one before I go to bed, maybe another 1-unit play as well. I'm still trying to sift through a lot of it. Obviously, it's close to midnight now, so I got to get some sleep. But just want to let you know, check the pinned comments below, X and Discord, for some more plays. But that's what we got for the betting research and the best bets. Before we get out of here, let's check out that recap. All right, there it is. My 3 best bets. Spencer Strider under 17.5 ounces for a 1-unit play, under 4 runs in the first 5 innings. Astros Pirates again. If you can only get 3.5, I'd probably lean a little bit more towards the under 7.5 in the full game. And then Kikuchi over 16.5 outs recorded at -105. And I like a lot of other plays that I still got to do some research and figure out. So any added plays will be in the pinned comments below on X and on Discord. Thank you guys for watching. As always, really appreciate the support. Hope you guys have a great Tuesday, and we'll talk to you soon.